So it's sat currently at 193,779 people playing. 779, yeah. And the 24-hour peak for this game was 319,461, beating Monster Hunter Wild's 24-hour peak of 308,127. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 108th episode of PandTha Talks.
Hello, welcome back.
He's finally back to some semblance of normality. That's the best way I can put things. It's been kind of a week of releases, or at least a week of games to play. Reviews have become a bit more solid for certain games that released last week. We've got a new release, Atom Fall.
Okay, quick tangent. Is it still at 81%?
Oh, you've made a very good question there.
If it's at 81%, I'm calling sus.
Let's have a look. It is at 81.
Sus.
12,773 user reviews. And it's still at 81%. That's a big question. I suppose, though, what we should address first, now that my mind is going back to everything, we've got a brand new layout for everything. We've changed the banners, the logos, the text, absolutely everything.
Rory's been hard at work.
Oh, that's the thing. It wasn't me.
None of it was with you. Okay.
No, I did none of this. Our new editor decided to do this off her own back because she's a lot better at art stuff than I will ever be, and creativity is not in my repertoire.
I know that feeling, brother.
Yeah, exactly. But she's taking this week off, so this week will be pretty box standard editing from me again. But come next week, everything will be... It will look a lot better. Let's just say that. This week we've got all the new logos and layouts and stuff, so you'll see some bits, but nowhere near as much. So yeah, get ready for an interesting one next week. But yeah, thank you to her for that. Massive help. All our socials and everything.
It's been some crazy work done. It looks really cool. It's a nice whole new makeover for us, Rory. How do you feel?
You know what? I feel pretty good about it. The logo side of ours, like, it really does look better than what I currently have. I must admit.
It's nice as well to see a change.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we've needed one for a bit. But yeah. Now that that's brought up and we've fully discussed that, because there wasn't much to discuss, but just enough. And a massive thank you to the editor for going out of their way to add all this. It was a massive help. We have a pretty interesting week to start with. We're going to be discussing Gabe Newell, because we have to. We're PC gamers. Obviously, we have to. We're going to discuss Ubisoft reaching a deal with Tencent, as we knew they were going to.
Oh yeah, I mean, you already sent me a tweet. Well, sorry, what wasn't out? An X, whatever the fuck that is.
Tweets.
But yeah, you sent me a tweet of it. Very, very big lump sum of cash for a very big portion of Ubisoft.
Well, it's not even Ubisoft. It's a separate company that they're both putting money into, that's going to have all of Ubisoft's sort of like big titles owned by that company. So basically Tencent own 25%, I think it is, of them assets as well, which is insane. Playable GTA 6 map, nuked without warning by Take-Two lawyers. Always.
Always.
Yeah. Game-changing Arma Reforger update adds attack helicopters, mortars, and destructible buildings. Nowhere on the battlefield is safe anymore. I love the Arma game.
I was going to say, I know you're quite the fan of them. So I thought, whenever I saw that, I thought you would be quite happy to see that, and you're going to take quite the interest.
Oh, definitely. Destructible buildings across the board. That's what Arma 3 was like, so anything that adds that to Reforger, yeah, I'm all for that. Co-op hit Split Fiction now holds 3 Guinness World Records that seem destined to be won specifically by co-op hit Split Fiction. What a fucking title. And the final one is, you may act like Walter White and look like Rick and Morty, but this co-op drug dealer simulator blowing up on Steam isn't just a goofy meme game. If you haven't seen that game, it's called Schedule 1. It looks fantastic. I'm definitely getting it, but I'm also one of the people who bought Drug Dealer Simulator 1 and 2, so that's no surprise. But before that, I would like to just quickly hit a couple mentions, because there is something else that does need to be brought up first, which will be Atom Fall, and EngineFall, ironically. So, we'll discuss a little bit about that.
Falling going on.
Yeah, so just switched over. Everyone can see now. So, Atomfall and EngineFall. Atomfall I've been playing today. I've been playing it on the Xbox Game Pass, because why not at the end of the day? It definitely isn't a shooter. Anyone that expected it to be, I don't think they watched really enough of the gameplay footage that was shown.
I mean, I didn't obviously see much. You were showing me it there just before we started here. And I wasn't a massive fan on it.
Yeah, I can imagine that. It's definitely more exploring and discovering things in the game.
I mean, every game doesn't have to be run around shooting and blowing shit up, you know?
No, a lot of the mechanics are box standard. Some of it could definitely do with refining. What I will say is a massive bloody positive for it, similar to Split Fiction, actually. The performance. It ran on a HDD, 6TB HDD, didn't really have any real issue with it. I mean, you saw that entire time I was streaming, Will. Was there, like, any proper drops that you saw?
Nothing that I saw, no.
Exactly. And that, for a modern-day release at the moment, is surprisingly compliment-worthy, and that upsets me that I can even say that. Severely so. It's a good game, from what I've seen so far. It's good for a couple hours here or there to spend some time on. I think if you enjoy exploration a lot more than other mechanics and you're trying to discover more about a story and what's going on in the world, you'll enjoy yourself. If it's not your if that's not your sort of thing, you're probably picking up the wrong game. But it's on Game Pass. You can try it for your monthly subscription. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Simple as that.
I mean, that's just how it works, isn't it?
Exactly. Nice and simplistic. EngineFall. Bloody hell, did I have a time and a half with this game.
Yeah, it definitely sounded like you had quite the experience.
So, the basic premise of this game, from what I understood, and this is basically, I had a 3-hour beta test yesterday, and I played for about 2 hours. So, the way it basically worked, I spawned in, I was in a like communal area. I was running around picking up resources with other people. Don't get me wrong, I could kill anyone. There's a karma system in place, so I did my best to be pretty neutral on karma. That was until some dick decided to attack my base. Now, I built this little base up top, out the way, away from everyone, thinking, at the end of the day, I'll be safe. That way I can put all my stuff away, stuff like that. Halfway to an objective I decided to go to try and make my way into the second carriage, because I was collecting resources. I get an alert. Someone's attacking your base. Someone's attacking your bedroll. Fuck. Someone's got in. Run all the way back. Just as I get there, see the guy, pull out my SMG, and just spray the cunt down. Then another guy runs in, doing the self-same thing, trying to steal my stuff. Kill him too. Then my neighbour, the dick who I was living next to, who I was friendly with the entire time, then decides to run out, attack me, and try and take all my stuff. So I killed him too. Now, the thing about EngineFall, I'm getting confused now, is you only have limited respawns per train. So you start out with 4. If you die, you lose a respawn. You can get them back with respawn tokens or by changing class. So you've got 4 classes, I believe it is. You've got 3rd class, 2nd class, 1st class, and then you've got conductor. And those are your 4 classes. Everyone's goal is to become the conductor. And as you go into different classes, you'll be able to collect more rare materials and resources to be able to craft new systems and items and higher tier equipment. So I was in 3rd class for a lot of this. I made my way to 2nd class at the end. But that guy who was my neighbour really pissed me off. Because I found out basically these guys broke in by destroying the walls that were already there, which only had 1,200 health. All I had to do was place down my own walls, upgrade them by 1 tier, and suddenly they've got 12,000 health and no one wants to bother with that. So I did that. And then my neighbour, the fucking idiot, didn't realise he'd done the self-same thing I did. So I broke his wall down and killed him. And it turns out that was his last life, so then I looted all his stuff and fucked off. He was then booted off our train. He annoyed me. The shooting is... I'll be honest, it's okay. It doesn't need to be flashy, as you said to me earlier, Will, when we were discussing this. Shooting doesn't need to be flashy. It doesn't need to do anything major. It just needs to work and be functional and not be a twat about it. And it does that. But it does sort of leave something to be desired. Performance was abysmal. So
that's not great.
I spawned at Ultra, right? I was at 40 FPS. I was like, this ain't very good. It was like 40 to 20 it had dropped between. So like, this isn't good. Dropped it down to high. Went all the way up to about 50 FPS. Solidly. It's like, you know what, that's not too bad. I'll drop it to medium, that should then help me. Put it up to medium, drops to 20 FPS. What?
Because this is how gaming works these days.
Yeah. All the textures changed as well. So I put it back up to high. All of a sudden, I went back up to 50 frames. So I played the rest of the game of that. Contrast seemed a bit too high, I must be honest on that. Really did seem a bit off. But overall, I did have a good time. You can have up to 5 people in a single team, which sounds like an absolute clusterfuck. I got into a couple of fights with different people. Didn't really want any of them, but here we are. People shoot.
That's how a game like that works. You don't want the gunfights. The gunfights want you.
Yeah, exactly. As I described it to Will though earlier when we were discussing it, it's kind of like Rust, but on a smaller scale and a smaller time frame. Like, that was for a 3-hour session, and that's sort of what it seems to be going for. Each train that you play will be similar build-up, and basically that'll be the run for that game. Which, it's fun for short-term style. I'd just like to see what else they plan to bring to it, because I don't think that's all that you can really do. You've got to bring more than just that.
Yeah, otherwise it'll get boring after. Yeah,
because there's only
one thing that you were saying how like that it just didn't really run very well, and that was something I was thinking about recently. Is like we've just got the 50 series release. We had the 40 series release, which is insane, and like the 4090 is unnecessary for any gaming, let alone the 50 series. We're getting these absolutely insane card releases with just absurd power, and yet games seem to be running worse and worse. Like how often recently have we been reviewing a game and we see someone leaving a review saying that they're running a 4090, for example, and the game is dipping and stuttering into 30 FPS territory?
Yeah,
on a 4090, like it kind of blows me away that's what we're sitting at.
Honestly, mate, I'm completely with you on that. It's like, as I've just had to say about Atomfall, it concerns me to a genuine amount that I can say as a compliment to any game, and this isn't a dig at Atomfall, this is just a genuine concern. I should not be able to turn around to you and say, I like this game because it runs well. No, that should be box standard. Any game should run well. Yeah, you're fine to have some teething issues at the beginning, but it can't be pretty much catastrophic, which is what a lot of games are. Assassin's Creed Shadows, as we just said, is at, what was it again?
81% somehow.
81% still, somehow. What's going on here? Oh, right, it's on sale. That makes more sense. I was really confused. What the hell do you mean? It's 89 pence for Hitman World of Assassination. That makes sense. But yeah, I find it to be like genuinely a concern that is something we can use as a compliment to a game, or as a detriment even more so, because why aren't games running well from the get-go? It's a simple question, but I don't think we'll ever really get the answers we're looking for. Sad but true.
It is definitely something that needs to start being taken under consideration from devs.
100%.
It's getting out of hand.
I just wanted to quickly look as well at Split Fiction, which is at 98% positive out of 38,368 reviews.
Yeah, that's kind of insane.
I've started playing it recently. I gave it a try. I played for 2.5 hours. I had a good bit of fun with it, to be honest. It's not as enjoyable, in my opinion, so far as It Takes Two. I personally enjoyed that a lot more so far, but we'll see how I feel as I progress. But yeah, it's a good bit of fun, and I do enjoy playing games with friends. It's always good. Always recommended.
I mean, we always say playing with friends is more enjoyable than playing alone.
Exactly. So, let's move on to the first topic, shall we? The first proper topic. Because we've been talking for 17 minutes and we've not really gotten to the articles yet, which is impressive.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That is impressive.
So, Gabe Newell's cult of personality is intense, but a Valve exec who worked with him says his superpower is how he delighted in people on the team just being really good at what they did. Interesting titles. I'm not sure there's any single figure in the games industry that people are more intrigued by than Gabe Newell. He has a fascinating air of mystery, which is weird given you can sort of just email him and get a reply. But nevertheless, there's a bit of a cult of personality around the man, to the extent that sometimes he sometimes becomes a stand-in for Valve itself. Sometimes it's a joke, the various Gabe memes around Steam, sales, praise Gabe and that sort of thing. And sometimes it's more serious, like people's real fear that Steam's might rapidly inshitify once Newell's no longer the boss. We actually discussed this a couple of years ago, and I'm so happy we did, that Gabe Newell has something apparently documented somewhere that they cannot change how Steam runs when they take over from him.
Sorry.
Sorry for what?
I had to run off for a second.
Oh, it's okay. But that's always a bloody good thing about it, to be honest. But it turns out that, hey, maybe that kind of founder mythologicalization is a bit off because of a recent GDC chat with PCG. How many acronyms do I have to read each week? I'm getting fed up.
Yeah, like I was saying last week, there's just so many, you start forgetting what each of them mean, and it becomes too much, man.
Well, I have no idea what GDC or PCG is. Ted Litchfield.
And we will never know.
Happily so. Former Valve Chief Marketing Officer Monica Harrington said that one of the key things that she appreciated about Newell during her time working with him in the late 90s was the way he nurtured team talent. He delighted in people on the team just being really good at what they did. I think he liked being part of all that. All Gabe has an eye for talent, in other words, and a capacity for nurturing it, which makes sense since a lot of Harrington's GDC talk on her time at Valve focused on how the company managed to locate and bring on board skilled people from all over the country and from all manner of backgrounds. You know, Gabe is the one who wanted me to join Valve. When we were having those discussions, we just got along really well. So he's very much someone who can identify if you're good. Does he think he can basically make you better and do better at his company than others? Which, I mean, that's not a skill many fucking employers have. So, you know, it sounds like rather than being the heroic Atlas who keeps Valve aloft on his back, a huge reason Valve has been so successful under his stewardship is that he's good at and takes pleasure in finding the right people who can help with the weight. You know, like the intern who saved the whole company that one time. You need people like that if you want to spend your time hanging out on your yacht with your potato phone. Potato phone. What is wrong with my English today?
We don't speak it.
Yeah, I think it's just the reading side of my brain that just turns off, which isn't necessarily bombshell news. I don't think any organization in history has truly been kept afloat by the energy and dynamism of literally a single person, but given the way we sometimes talk about Newell and Valve, is perhaps a necessary corrective. Anyway, that's not to say Newell isn't a remarkable guy unto himself. Harrington recalls that she thought he was really, really smart and had interesting takes on things, even to the extent that he stood out from all other really, really smart people Harrington has worked with across the rest of her career. That article was awful. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But I started, so I needed to finish it. Anyways, let's get on to the important stuff, shall
Yeah,
we?
let's move on from whatever that was.
Yeah, Ubisoft reaches deal with Tencent to create $4.3 billion mini Ubisoft subsidiary to spearhead development on new Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six games.
Oh, yeah, it's just 4 billion on a mini company, yeah?
Yeah.
Standard stuff.
Yeah. Ubisoft has announced the creation of a new subsidiary that will handle Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. The new entity has an enterprise value of 4 billion euros, around 4.3 billion US dollars, with Tencent set to invest 1.16 billion euro, giving it a roughly 25% minority stake in the business. That's just insanity. With the creation of a dedicated subsidiary that will spearhead development for 3 of our largest franchises and the onboarding of Tencent as a minority investor, Ubisoft CEO Guillemot, because I refuse to say their first name, says in a press release, "We are crystallizing the value of our assets, strengthening our balance sheet, and creating the best conditions for these franchises' long-term growth and success." How much are you willing to bet that people are still gonna get let go?
Yeah, we'll see. But I think we have our guesses.
Yeah. The new subsidiary will include the teams developing the Tom Clancy Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry franchises based in Montreal, Quebec, Sherbrooke, Saguenay, Barcelona, and Sofia, as well as the back catalogue and any new games currently under development or to be developed. This subsidiary will get a worldwide exclusive irrevocable perpetual license for the 3 IPs, for which it will return royalties to its parent company. The transaction is expected to be finalised by the end of the year. This is going to feel like the old Xbox buying Activision situation all over again, isn't it? When we covered that like multiple times throughout the same year. Tencent already had a 10%.
Multiple.
Yeah. Tencent already had a 10% stake in Ubisoft prior to its investment in this new entity. The company says the new subsidiary will remain exclusively controlled and consolidated by Ubisoft. So would that mean that technically it's got an overall 35% stake in Ubisoft?
Well, that's in Ubisoft itself. They have that, no?
Yeah, they've got the 10% in Ubisoft. They've got a 25% in this new subsidiary.
Yeah, but the new company's going to be like separate from Ubisoft, no?
Yeah, it's a subsidiary, still owned by its parent company.
I mean, I guess you would sort of have to take what percentage of this subsidiary that they're making is out of the entirety of Ubisoft's net value, I suppose, and then work the math out from there to see how much they actually would, like, basically what percentage of Ubisoft they would then own from that.
Yeah, that's fair. Those rumours came after a string of high-profile disappointments in 2024 from Skull and Bones, fucking disgraceful, final escape out of its decade-long development hell to the launch and shutdown of X-Defiant, and
that still blows me away that Skull and Bones was as bad as it was.
Yeah, I still can't get my head around that. And softer than expected, sales for Star Wars Outlaws. What do you mean softer than expected? It's made by
I mean,
you.
that was crap as well.
Factors like these led to the repeated polish delays for Assassin's Creed Shadows, which launched last week to near record success for the venerable franchise. Right, may I just add the amount of bugs I have seen on TikTok over these last weeks or so for
Yeah,
that game.
I've
I
sent you a couple as well.
Yeah, I've sent you some as well, and
Yeah, it's been a back and forth.
it has. But it just makes me question, how can you turn around and say, oh yeah, we've repeatedly polished it, and then that. Don't get me wrong, I think the game stands on its own merits, clearly, and it's clearly not as bad as what it could have been, which is good.
Yeah.
They've definitely taken steps to improve, and that is a good step in the right direction. We'll just have
Yeah.
to wait and see, though. People...
Yeah, I mean, there are
really
cool
enjoy it.
bits to it. Like, some of the animations are cool. The guards actually, like, catching you, trying to, like, assassinate them or something like that, and
Yeah.
you basically getting held down by one while another fucking Sparta kicks you. You know, it's
Yeah.
funny stuff like that. But it doesn't outweigh the problems they have.
Yeah. Like, actually, ironically, speaking on that topic already, guards catching you when you're assassinating them from behind in midair, and they just turn around, grab you by the neck, and throw you on the ground. It's like,
Yeah, that's a little
how
ridiculous.
the fuck did you know I was coming? Like,
Also, how the
explain.
fuck did you just teleport to the side to grab me?
So there's definitely some things that still need working on, but it's not a perfect game by any shape or form, but it's definitely
No.
not as bad as it could have been. It stands on its
I
own
mean,
merits. It's clearly doing well.
the
Congratulations
bar
to
for
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft was already low for the
Yeah,
last few games they released, so
yeah,
they didn't
definitely.
have to do much, but they still could have done better.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's always room for improvement, and we will always stand by that. But they've definitely done much better. Their review score definitely says that. Though I do kind of have so many questions on why it's stuck at where it is.
Sus.
Like, I don't get that. Yo, what? Shall we go to the old classic?
Go on.
Yeah, still the same. Still the same.
Something's not right. Something's not right here.
It's
There's
really
some
odd.
fishy shit going on.
What's the, what's it, max? To be fair, that's not bad at all. Player count-wise. It's not like they've just, like, had an immediate severe drop-off. That's relatively average. So yeah, people are clearly enjoying it enough to keep picking it back up and continue day by day. So that's good. That's always good. But no, fair play to Ubisoft on that one, I must admit.
Well, let's just hope that they can actually keep this rolling.
Yeah, most definitely. I think this is just the same thing, so that's all fine. I must admit, this is brighter than I anticipated.
Good job it's in the middle of the day, huh? This would definitely be a flashbang to us if it was later.
Wouldn't it just? You know when Discord had that new graphical update to change how it looks?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was. Both me and someone else I know decided it would be a good idea to just press light mode to see if it edited that. I immediately flinched and jumped back in my chair. So then I immediately clicked off it. It hurt my eyes so bad.
I don't know why you would do that to begin with.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
such a
know
foolish
either.
idea.
It was dumb as hell, but here we are. Playable GTA 6 map nuked without warning by Take-Two lawyers. My guess is that the map was probably a little bit too accurate. I am surprised they didn't bother emailing me. I would have taken it down if asked. Good news, GTA fans. A dedicated modder has gone through great lengths to create a playable version of GTA 6's map in GTA 5. Bad news, GTA fans. Take-Two has already decided it's not having any of that, and has dispatched a battalion of lawyers to obliterate videos of the project from the internet. And as a result, our modder has also put the kibosh on people downloading it. So more bad news than good, really. In case you don't know, I basically created a playable GTA 5 map based on the leaks and the trailer shots from GTA 6. Explains the map creator. Darkspace based his project on a GTA 6 community mapping project, one that's attempting to model the upcoming game's world based on trailers and leaks. It didn't come as a surprise, mind you. Dark Space says he always feared Take-Two might go nuclear on them, and the only real shock was that they didn't bother emailing him.
How much do you want to bet that this guy doing a community project made the map better than what Rockstar would have made?
Ooh, some fighting
And
words, I see.
that's why I got taken down. If it was supposedly too accurate as well. Considering, think of what he had to work off of: leaked screenshots and a trailer.
Yeah.
That's all he had to work off of, and they're saying it was too accurate.
Well, that's his prediction as to why it got taken. But it could go. I'll be honest, it could have been removed for any reason. It's definitely curious. My guess is that the map was probably a little too accurate. Muse's dark space. They must feel some sort of threat from it existing because they feel that having a playable version of the map to drive around in could ruin the surprise and newness of GTA 6 when it releases.
No one's going to be able to play it because you need a 4090.
Well, PC you have like another year or two after the console anyway.
That is true.
So Take-Two got YouTube to take down Dark Space's videos of the project, leveraging its ownership of all things GTA to have the footage thrown down the memory hole. Although Take-Two, in its infinite mercy, didn't issue takedowns against the actual download links for the maps. Dark Space removed the download links to the mod, even though they didn't ask me to, but I think it's smarter to get out in front of them rather than waiting for their email that will never come. He adds the takedown took away a month's income that I spent 2 months working hard to earn. That's kind of another thing, I must admit. I don't like the fact that they struck his videos for it. Like,
I guess they kind of have every right to, in a way, though. Like, it can kind of be considered copyright, I guess.
That's the thing. They dictate, because they own the product, they dictate what you can and can't do with it. Even though modding content for GTA 5 is completely fine. Modding maps for GTA 5 is completely fine as content. But because of the very specific nature of what this is, they've decided, nope, we don't want that. So we're taking it all down. Which is... I'm more upset that they took his content down from YouTube than they did stop the download of it. Like, look at the guy, for example, who made it his job for like a bit of time. He recreated Simpsons Hit and Run and updated everything. All the textures, all that stuff. Made it from scratch. He can't release it. Activision sent him a cease and desist on the releasing side. But he's fine to record, upload videos of him creating it, show off the gameplay, the footage, all that stuff. But
yeah, it's a bit weird the way they're doing it.
Yeah, that's kind of the bit that upsets me, because, like, as he just said, he's lost, like, a month's worth of income from YouTube on what he's done, which them videos could have shown this, and it could have been pretty good for him. It's a sad, if predictable outcome for a project like this, driven by fan passion, but which ran the risk, at least in executive heads, of spoiling Take-Two and Rockstar's best laid plans for GTA 6's marketing blitz. Dark Space is, well, less than thrilled about it. In reality, my map does not negatively affect their sales. It was building hype around the game and giving players something to enjoy while we waited for the next trailer from Rockstar. When will these companies learn to stop attacking their own feet? Because it's thanks to the community of players and modders that these companies can stand. It's ironic, Rockstar could take a bit of a leaf as well as Bethesda, but I think Bethesda kind of started to learn that after, the paid modding controversies.
Oh, don't go back to that, please. That was a dark time.
It was. Which is maybe a tad grandiose, although I don't disagree with the spirit of Dark Space's point. I don't think Rockstar of all studios needs any assistance keeping the hype train for GTA 6 going. But I do agree that publishers would do better to recognise that modding communities are just hardcore fans who only make their games look better and livelier. Actually, I would have to disagree with you, because for the most part, people are making jokes about GTA 6, and don't get me wrong, a lot of people are hyped for it. But what kept people going and keeping GTA in the brain? It wasn't GTA Online because people got bored of that. No, it was 5M because 5M was the only thing people really played on GTA 5 for a while because it was the only thing that was actually enjoyable.
Still never played GTA 5 and probably never will, to be honest, though.
Can't fool you. So, I think, yeah, they're trying to make the dig there about it being grandiose, but I'd have to kind of disagree with them on that side because I think he's got a fair point. So, armor, destruction, mayhem, suffering.
Yes.
1 minute
like
33. What you got? Mortar.
Yeet.
Ooh. Show me destruction. Show me mayhem.
Well, that's just teasing right there.
Ain't it just? The game still looks pretty decent. This new engine that they've made is pretty good. Oh, damn. Okay.
The whole building just gone?
Yeah, that's how I'm... Hey, look, it's the APCs with the heavy guns. Shoot with the heavy gun, man. Shoot with the heavy gun. You get the fuck out of there and run. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, I would be mildly terrified. Because I guarantee you that will happen to me. The tree bit, I mean.
While getting squashed by a tree?
Yes. It happened a long time ago. What's even more impressive is they've released an Arma game on PS5 and Xbox as well. Like, that to me I still can't get my head around. Arma Reforger has come a long way since its rather thin launch in 2022. A multiplayer-centric military role-playing toolset, Reforger is part of Arma 3's Zeus, dressed in Bohemia's snazzy new engine, and part testbed for Arma 4, which I am hyped for. It wasn't vastly well liked when it was released out of Steam Early Access, with the community accusing Bohemia of abandoning it. But that is from the case, as is demonstrated by the latest update. Described by Bohemia Interactive as game-changing, Update 1.3 adds several substantial features to the Czech studio's latest military simulator, while the update is headlined by the addition of 2 new APCs, LAV-25 for the game's US faction and the BDRM-2 for the Soviets. The more significant change is that Arma Reforger now has a fully destructible buildings and trees. Finally! I've missed them from Arma 3. Honestly,
yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about. Like, we're always talking about all the new game releases and stuff. I feel like we never really realized that there's games that are 10 plus year old still being updated.
Well, Arma Reforger is pretty much what it's supposed to be. It's like a test demo for Arma 4 to release, and it's sort of what they've given us in between that point, and it also gave them a bit of money, obviously, to help build Arma 4. But there it is. Arma Reforger. From what I remember, they don't charge really any DLC. There's just a soundtrack. But yeah, this is released in 2023. It wasn't really that good. 2022 was when it released into early access. But it's definitely better. A lot better than it was. I mean, you can see that with the
if you think about it though, you got Arma 3. Look at everything that came from Arma 3. You've got Rust as well. That's like it's like 2011, 2012, and it's still being updated. And they're just a couple of examples. There's quite a couple of games now. Unfortunately, quite a few of them now are live service ones that are like constantly updated, which kind of sucks. But there's a few games out there that are quite old, and they just get constantly worked on and constantly updated to keep them going. And it's crazy to see. Even Diablo 3 got it for what 10, 11 years.
Yeah, prime example.
And even there you go, updated. It's still being updated. Diablo 3 is one of my favorites, though, and even now that it's stopped being updated, you've still got like what I think I worked out. You still got like 7 years of gameplay to go through there with each season.
Exactly,
and it's crazy.
It really is, to be honest with you. But yeah, these old games sometimes they're worth just going back to, even just for a little. You've always got to go back to something enjoyable. Arma Reforger has come a long way since its rather thin launch. I think I've already done that, but yeah, I have. Described by Bohemia Interactive as its game-changing update. Yep, already read this. Fuck's sake, Rory. Solid cover is now temporary. Destruction changes everything, writes Bohemia in the update Steam post. Buildings can be destroyed. Entire forests can be cleared. Sightlines can be expanded and choke points can be bypassed. There's an image of the destruction system at play, and it looks like buildings can be completely leveled, leaving players exposed to enemy attack.
I mean, they showed that buildings can very much be leveled.
Yeah, but shit.
I wonder what happens if you're in a helicopter and you just nosedive into a building. How's that going to look?
I can tell you my experience from Arma 3 if you want. Because my favourite thing in Arma 3 was this game mode called Escape. And basically, what we used to do, this was a long time ago now, I've not done it in a while, I'd love to do it again. What you did were you got yourself and a bunch of friends together, you set up a mod pack on Arma 3, downloaded a fuck ton of mods, and you all joined this server. And your entire goal was to escape from this map. And those enemies covering the entire map. And basically the best ways to do it are either find a boat or find a helicopter. Now there's tons of fucking helicopters always flying around. We eventually got into one. First time we got ever close enough to like escaping, and they left me to drive. Why, I don't know. I don't drive well, I don't fly well. You want me to drive? Guaranteed we're going the fun way. By that I mean we're going over the hills and the mountains. We'll get there quickly. We might not make it there alive. So
does it count if your corpse escapes?
Yeah, pretty much. That was my question. Except I went straight into the lighthouse at the beginning because I have a grudge against that fucking thing. Love to level it. Great fun. I leveled, I think, the top of it and then blew up.
And then it leveled you?
Yeah. My friends were not very...
Have you ever played the platformer game Ultimate Chicken Horse?
Oh yeah.
It's like that when you can win with postmortem when your corpse makes it to the flag.
Exactly that.
You hoping your corpse just launches out the window and the helicopter just sends it out of the map.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic if it did. Alongside the new destruction system, there is the update adds several new toys to facilitate it. First, there are two new offensive helicopters, the Mi-8 and the UH-1H. Both gunships come equipped with fully adjustable kilometer sights, detachable rocket pods, and various ammunition options, letting you deal explosive death from above to your enemies for more terrestrial obliteration. The update folds within realistic and immersive mortars. With these, players can coordinate and with spotter teams to delay enemy advances, cut off supply routes, level towns, and support friendly attacking forces from kilometers away. I love the idea of that. We've needed something like this for so long. The goal of the update is to ensure that nowhere on the battlefield is safe anymore. Not everything added is destruction focused, however. Single-player Arma fans get a little love from Bohemia with a new elimination scenario casting. Players as a US Spec Ops soldier tasked with taking out a Soviet officer. There's also a bunch of tweaks to vehicles so that they can carry more supplies, and an overhaul to ammunition supply depots so players must rank up before they can use better equipment, which Bohemia hopes will prevent arsenal spam. It's too early to tell what effect the update will have on the game's Steam rating, though it's already come a long way back since debuting with a mixed rating back in 2022. Reforger now has a mostly positive overall rating of over 23,000 reviews and a very positive rating, recent rating from approximately 2,000 reviews in the last 30 days. So it's definitely improved since then, because as you've just seen when I looked at it there, pull this back up, the most positive 74, so we have actually got an increase from the seams of things. Oh, not by much. Probably just talking about the same. Okay, never mind. Not increased too much. It's because it's heartening to see Reforger slowly earn the community's trust, not least because they're waiting another few years before Arma 4 arrives. You can read the full changelogs here. But no, it's damn good to see and I am very happy to see more Arma content because I've missed it.
Yeah. I suppose the best thing as well about a destructible environment is not only obviously is it awesome and you can see some crazy shit happen, but it means that as you destroy more of one part of the map, it'll sort of force you to move to another part of the map because eventually there's going to be nothing there, and it then makes you actually play the whole map.
Yeah, and the other thing about Reforger is you can actually build like camps and stuff, and you set them up and you transfer like resources and stuff. So if a town gets like taken out and you are based in that town or nearby, how much easier is it going to be for them to find you? Probably quite a bit. But at the same
they don't seem to be behind this building. Level that one next.
Yeah, but at the same time, how easy if you, let's say you're just outside the town, you see all this going down, you're going to easily see any troops that are coming up towards you.
You know, guys, I could have swore there was a building on the horizon, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's going to be interesting for both sides, I think. So, Hazelight has been on something of a tear lately with its signature co-op adventures. Its latest game, Split Fiction, has been lighting the sales charts on fire and left PC Gamer editor Fraser Brown thoroughly impressed. He called it one of the greatest co-op games around. The game is making its requisite victory lap around the headlines, with the latest word on the street being that it smashed 3 Guinness World Records within a week of its release. The records: most played local co-op video game on Steam, most sold local co-op video game within 48 hours of release, and most sold local co-op video game within 1 week of release. All celebrate the game's dynamite sales numbers, though I'm not sure if they're including all games that feature local co-op or just the ones that emphasize it to the same extent that Hazelight games do. It's also worth noting that local co-op isn't compulsory in Split Fiction, and Guinness's other multiplayer angled records have mostly to do with MMOs. Though, given the Resident Evil snagged one for worst dialogue in a video, and there's even a record of for first video game played entirely as a wolf, awarded to the Game Wolf, appropriately. Maybe I shouldn't be taking this so seriously. There's a whole application process for these things, and it's not like this is going to in some exhaustive archive of which co-op games achieved what when. Right. The fact that Resident Evil snagged one for the worst video game dialogue, I have to disagree. There is a game that I hands down think will always have the worst dialogue in a game. And it's because of how shocking it is.
Was that fucking sniper?
Yeah. This game is known to have the worst writing in existence. It was made by a fan. It's awful. It's the worst game you can buy on Steam.
I mean, I've seen some interesting TikToks where people purchase some questionable games. For example, there's a game called Chair Fucking Simulator that I recently found out about.
Well, there's always Sex with Hitler and all that stuff.
Chair Fucking Simulator is
worse.
It's strange.
So, Will, Schedule 1, because becoming a drug dealer.
Why not?
The thing is,
I was doing that in Gmod anyway.
Yeah, same. But the thing about this game is, there's more than just drugs that you can do. Because obviously, you need to do the drugs, you need to get workers, you need to sell. You also need to beat the shit out of people occasionally, get cars.
Is that Crazy Steve or whatever the hell his name is from fucking Plants vs Zombies? Crazy Dave.
Oh, there's money laundering as well. There's just so much to do. And it looks phenomenal. I've got to admit, it looks really impressive for what it is. And the amount of people that are completely raving about this game right now, 98% positive out of 23,825 people, is insanity. People are loving it.
6 days in, by the way.
Yeah, it's not been out for long at all. And it just looks like an absolute blast. It looks like such a great time. Now, as I said, I'm already someone who's known to like these drug dealing sort of games and setting up the systems for it. Because I've got the other two games. They're fun. They're good to play. They're a good laugh. I do enjoy myself, I must admit. But that one just looks like an absolute blast. So, take a look at the top games on Steam this week. And nestled among the big names like Marvel Rivals and Monster Hunter Wilds is Schedule 1. An early access first-person drug dealing simulator that looks like extras from Rick and Morty are acting out the plot of Breaking Bad.
That's one way to put it.
Oh, damn.
Right then.
Damn.
What?
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
no.
You know what? Fair play. So it's sat currently at 193,779 people playing. 779, yeah. And the 24-hour peak for this game was 319,461, beating Monster Hunter Wilds' 24-hour peak of 308,127. What the fuck?
That is insane.
But I can't quite get my head around that.
No, there's not really much to be said there.
Congratulations.
Other than damn well done, yeah.
Yeah. Fair play to you.
That's crazy.
Okay. I was pretty much expecting another streamer bait meme game looking to be edgy by featuring Kush or Coke. But after playing for a couple hours, I can easily agree with the overwhelmingly positive review scores on Steam. It's a great sim with engaging systems and a ton of personality. Plus, a well-paced sense of progression, as you go from dealing weed out of a tiny motel room to building a proper drug manufacturing and distribution empire. Schedule 1 launched just this week, but it's rocketed up the Steam charts with nearly 200,000 concurrent players today, a number which I suspect will grow over the weekend. Its Breaking Bad hook is evident, as you begin this game with a tiny drug lab in the back of an RV in a dusty desert town. Sound familiar? Unlike Walter White, however, you don't start with meth. You start by buying seeds to grow pot plants. It's a lot of work buying bags of soil, cutting them open, dumping the dirt into the flower pots, water the soil, place the seed, bury it, water again, and snip the buds when they're grown, and then bag them individually. Then you make small deals with individual buyers, arranged and negotiated via text message, and conducted face-to-face in an alley behind a barber shop or in a vacant basketball court near the waterfront. Growing, harvesting, and selling a few small baggies of kush is about all you can accomplish in a single day. But the tiny sliver of profit that you can make can be invested in more plants and more equipment. Give out free samples to attract new customers, learn their preferences and gain their trust, and eventually you'll be introduced to prospective employees, like a dealer you can hire to handle your buys. Bit by bit, you can transition from a tiny weed business to making harder drugs, gaining even more customers and accessing new regions of the city to sell in to make more money. I'm not that far along yet, but I've graduated from street rat to hoodlum, so I'm making just enough to gains to get the sense for my next moves: a bigger drug lab, more workers, and more money. Of course, there are dangers. Nosy cops stalk the neighborhood by day, more than happy to rifle through your pockets or arrest you if they spot you dealing. And do you think the cartel is going to sit back while you dominate the market? There's a reason you can eventually access a weapons dealer. All I have now is a baseball bat, and I don't think that's going to be enough. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be enough. They've got guns and tasers.
Paper, it sounds a little basic, but clearly there's a lot more going on.
Yeah,
given the reviews, the amount of people playing, like it does kind of intrigue me and make me wonder what on earth is going on in this game.
I've seen someone play for like the first 40 minutes, and yeah, it looks like a blast. I'll be picking it up. Definitely picking it up. Schedule 1 is a lot of fun right now, right from the start, and I'm looking forward to dealing a ton of drugs this weekend and then playing more of the game.
Hey man, rather it be done in a game than in the real world, man.
How many drug deals do you think are going to get advice from this game?
Oh no. Don't say that.
But let's be honest, they're all fucking dumbasses, so they're definitely not going to do it. It's on sale on Steam for 15% off for the rest of the month, and there's even a demo if you want a free taste.
The offer actually ends tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, it's in the month tomorrow already.
I do kind of wonder though, how much is the full?
Is $16.75.
That's not bad actually. I can't really fault it, like price wise and everything. It's
I mean,
really
considering the amount of entertainment people are getting out of it. Wait, Rory.
Yeah, it's cool.
Look at the tags. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Huh.
Will, do you?
I love how
drug deals this weekend.
I love how there's just the tags say like the demo is called free sample.
Yeah.
Well played, sir.
As well, like he is really well done. This.
Who is it, by the way?
This is TVGS. This is the only game they've ever made.
What a way to start!
Yeah, I know, right? I love developers like this because they start from nothing, and all of a sudden you're just there, like, oh yeah, this is everything.
I wonder sort of what goes through their minds when this is their first game, and they've just sold like hundreds of thousands of copies.
Yeah.
Like, the guy has sold at least 300,000 copies.
Let's have a look at his Twitter quickly. But we've got the time. Yeah, I don't think he knew how to respond. There's been nothing as of yet. What about YouTube? Anything on here? If we just go to videos.
Just trailers.
Trailers. I really want to find something. We'll check Reddit, and then afterwards I'll check Discord. Worst case scenario.
Asmongold playthrough, of course.
Oh, fair play. No, okay. Gonna go into the Discord, are we? Accept as right there. Bump. There we go. Let's have a look. I'd have thought in announcements we might get some. Tyler, the developer.
Well, to give you some perspective, by the way.
Yeah.
Before any of the like marketing fees and all that go through, on the discounted price of $14.23.
Yeah.
Then timesing it by 300,000, even though there's definitely been more than that sold.
Yeah.
That is 4,269,000.
And then obviously we've got Valve who takes their 30%.
Yeah, so that's like the gross amount from only 300,000 people on the 15% discounted price as well.
Yeah. And from what I can see so far, you know what? Let me see if I can do this because I know there's a way to do it. It should be in. Where is it? I think it's in roles. Can I view that? Sure, if you used to be able to check roles out, but it might just be if you're if you're like a leader or something. That's a bit annoying. Jesus Christ! How many people do these guys have in this server? Insane. But the only people I see typing is Tyler, the developer, and Kaysel, who's the composer. Which, if that's the case, this game may genuinely have been made by two people, and one of them was for music.
Myth.
If that's the case, once again, just two people.
Hey, when you look at the member list and go to the very top.
That's what I tried, but if you do that, this is it. Yeah, it's like, they could be offline, though.
Yeah.
47k. This will take a bit. It's not like you can just, link them all together either. They've got to be online for you to see it.
Yeah.
View full thing. Developer. Yeah. Fucking fair play to the guy, though. 110%. If two people have made this game.
How much would you absolutely freak out?
Oh.
If that happened?
Let's just say this. I would completely understand if this is the reason why he's being quiet and just pushing updates. Because let's just be straight up right now. Would you know how to react? You'd just keep working, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, here we are. Actually, I'll just... give me a sec. Screens. Share back again. There we go. Just here. So, this... What day did it release again? The game?
24th of March.
So, 28th of February. 12th of March, they got 50,000 members. 22nd of March... 100,000 on Discord. Schedule 1 will go live in less than 24 hours. Schedule 1 is now live. Thank you everyone for your support. And then He's just been constant.
It's
I don't think he knows how to react yet. I think it's going to take him a few days. But you know
he's still trying to
what?
figure out if it's still real or not.
Yeah. But you know what? Much absolute and utter respect.
Oh my god.
A lot of people listening, jumping in for duos and stuff like that together. So it's even
That's
built a
crazy.
community.
That is insane.
Absolutely, congratulations to them. Honestly, I am beyond impressed with what he's accomplished there. I don't know about yourself, but that's just crazy.
I mean, we talk so often about indie games and indie devs, and the insane stuff that they pull off.
Yeah,
And this is just another example, and you don't know how to respond to it.
you don't know.
Other than this is what we want to see, and we want to see more of it. We want to see more people making more games, and just seeing all these communities pop up out of these games, and just more.
Yeah, no, exactly. You are spot on, to be honest with you, mate. But
I think Ubisoft could take a page out of their book, though. You know?
yeah, just throw something together. Actually, do a hi-fi rush on us. That's what a lot of these games seem to be doing. Right? They just suddenly appear, get announced, and then release. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I can get behind this. But I'm gonna keep my eye on Schedule 1. I'm probably gonna get it. Actually, let's just be straight up. I am gonna get it. There's no probably about it. It's definitely gonna be got eventually. And I will let you know my honest opinions on it when I get my hands on it. But it seems like a blast just from what we've seen. And from what people...
I mean, it has to be.
Yeah. Like, it's just crazy. But honestly, congratulations to the dev team on that. Whether it be 2 people or more.
A massive hands off them, man.
Yeah. But with that, I think I've covered everything now that needed to be covered. So, Will, is there anything you'd like to mention before we end the episode?
Nothing that comes to mind, sir.
Nothing that comes to mind? No problem at all. Well, in that case, then, I'll just end it off by saying a huge thank you again to our editor for all the stuff that they did last week. A huge thank you, as always, to our amazing social media manager, who helps us so much and gets so pissed off at us for ever listening.
Well, they can physically assault you, they can't me.
Well, yeah, you are not wrong in the slightest. And that, my friend, scares me sometimes.
And then finally, Rory, a huge thanks to anyone that does tune in.
As always.
Anyone who watches the YouTube videos, that subscribes, that comments. Without you guys, I think we might have stopped by now.
I don't know about that. You and me like talking
I don't,
shit.
Yeah, I don't know. A little bit, kind of.
Yeah, it's possible.
We definitely didn't expect what has happened.
No. Especially with the Old Glory Studios situation. That was
something else.
I still can't get my head around that. That's still blowing my mind away a bit. But no, we appreciate anyone who watches, and it doesn't matter if you watch and leave a dislike or anything like that to us, because at the end of the day, just some information on why.
Yep.
Just tell us what's going on. What could we do better? Is there something that we are doing that definitely needs improving? If so, let us know.
Any feedback.
Exactly.
And last but not least, one last addition. I'd like to give a shout out to Chair.
Yeah.
For still tuning in. I don't even remember how long ago it was that I used to stream 7 days. This guy turned up every day and murdered me by spawning in zombies with the Twitch integration that 7 days has, which was quite an enjoyable time. He enjoyed killing me a little too much sometimes, maybe, but it's crazy to see he's still hanging around.
Yeah, and thank you for joining the Discord and everything like that. It's crazy. It really is.
Yeah.
But anyways, with all the thank yous, we'll give one more. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all in the next episode. If you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and join the Discord, because I will get killed if I forget even 1 week. And we will see you all in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you